Avian influenza has been detected in dairy herds in the nation's largest dairy state, California. What does this mean? I just wrote about this for the Mercury News, and many veterinarians like me believe that H5N1 has been circulating in California dairy herds for quite some time now. Why? In June, H5 was detected in San Francisco wastewater, yet California was the only state with positive wastewater detections and no infected dairy herds, until now. And despite the United States Department of Agriculture encouraging more widespread testing by offering to compensate dairy producers for veterinary care and 90% of lost milk production, producers are still reluctant to test their sick cattle. One Colorado producer even admitted to not notifying the state of illnesses, saying sometimes it's more convenient not to know. Dairy producers are even firing their veterinarians over testing disputes. Keith Paulson, a veterinarian at the Wisconsin Veterinary Diagnostics Laboratory, even said, "There are times when I know there's flu on this farm, but the owner won't approve testing." The virus has led to mass extermination of over 100 million poultry birds across the United States since 2022. In March, several cats died after drinking raw milk, and more recently, 2 indoor-only cats with no direct exposure to the virus also tested positive and died. This year, 13 poultry and dairy workers have tested positive for the virus. And researchers are worried that reassortment with the seasonal flu virus could create a virus that is more easily transmissible between people and could even lead to the next human pandemic. Just last week, one person tested positive for H5 in Missouri with no known animal source. Could this infection signal the beginning of person-to-person spread? When Colorado implemented mandatory bulk tank testing statewide, they uncovered 11 new positive herds. Bulk tank testing can identify infected herds 14 to 16 days before symptoms are noticeable. California is now testing bulk milk tanks near the Central Valley where the positive herds were. But what about Sonoma, closer to San Francisco where the positive H5 wastewater detections were? Follow Colorado's lead and immediately mandate bulk milk tank testing to protect animal health and public health. But more importantly, we have to consider where we are investing our public funds. 73% of dairy revenue comes from some form of subsidy. We spend $38 billion a year to prop up animal-based protein production. That's the same amount that Americans spend on veterinary care for their animals. We've already bailed out corporations more than $1 billion for the loss of their avian influenza infected animals. When it's all over, this avian influenza outbreak will likely cost us billions of dollars. Research shows that if we redirect public funds towards animal-free food production and access to animal-free meals, we could save $7.3 trillion globally in health burdens and ecosystem degradation. Go to bailouts.ourhonor.org to see which companies have taken the most money during this avian influenza outbreak.